Other news, ladies and gentlemen. It ends now. The Judge Paula Xinis, Xinis, has just repeatedly slammed the Trump administration for stonewalling her completely in this new reporting from CNN. Let's take a look at it and what it all details. This article, ladies and gentlemen, is titled, quote, "That ends now, semicolon. Judge overseeing Abrego Garcia case knocks Trump administration for repeatedly stonewalling." And ladies and gentlemen, that article reads, the Trump administration is not acting in, quote, good faith, unquote, as part of the expedited fact-finding process unfolding in the case of Abrego Garcia, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The federal judge overseeing the matter ruled Tuesday, accusing officials of intentionally non-compliance with their obligation to produce information. The 8-page ruling from U.S. District Judge Paula Xinis, Xinis, is extremely critical of how the Justice Department has been navigating the highly expedited discovery process she's allowing to proceed in order to figure out whether the administration is complying with her order that it, quote, facilitate, unquote, Abrego Garcia's return from El Salvador, where he was mistakenly deported last month. Quote, for weeks, defendants have sought refuge behind vague and unsubstantiated assertions of privilege, using them as a shield to obstruct discovery and evade compliance with this court's orders, unquote. Xinis wrote, adding, quote, defendants have known at least since last week that this court requires specific legal factual showings to support any claim of privilege. Yet they have continued to rely on boilerplate assertions. That ends now, unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, before we continue with the article, right after we are finished with the article, we are going to look over Judge Xinis's order that she made or published. She ordered Justice Department lawyers representing the administration to provide her with a more, quote, specific legal and factual basis unquote, for why they were invoking privilege in order to avoid providing some written discovery Abrego Garcia's attorneys have been seeking. Quote, given that this court expressly warned defendants and their counsel to adhere strictly to their discovery obligations, their boilerplate, non-particularized objections are presumptively invalid and reflect a willful refusal to comply with this court's discovery order and governing rules, unquote, Xinis, Xinis wrote. The order comes a day after Abrego Garcia's attorneys complained to the judge that the government was providing with insufficient responses to discovery questions known as interrogatories and inadequate documents. Quote, its document production consists entirely of public filings from the dockets, copies of plaintiffs' own discovery requests and correspondence, and two non-substantive cover emails transmitting declarations filed in this case. Its interrogatory responses are similarly non-responsive, unquote, they wrote in a court filing. Ladies and gentlemen, DHS attorneys deposed. Earlier Tuesday, Abrego Garcia's attorneys took the deposition of Joseph Mazara, the top lawyer at the Department of Homeland Security, according to a source familiar with the case. Mazara has been providing the judge with some of the daily updates she is requiring the Trump administration to submit to understand how it's complying with with her order to, quote, facilitate, unquote, Abrego Garcia's return. Tuesday, the Trump administration delivered its daily 5 p.m. update on the Abrego Garcia situation under seal. Quote, defendants provide notice that defendants submitted today's daily status report to the court confidentially and under seal for in-camera review, unquote. DOJ attorneys wrote, in-camera review is a process by which a judge can review information confidentially without having the other side in a case present. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's legal breaking analysis reporting and legal breaking update. If you did enjoy this legal breaking analysis reporting update, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing firstly. Secondly, If you want to make sure that you never miss a brand new legal breaking reporting and legal breaking analysis update, please consider hitting the bell icon and hitting the all notifications options that is right next to the subscribe button down below the screen here on the right hand side of the subscribe button. Thirdly, you guys can also stay up to date by following me on my social media platforms down below. I am on Instagram, Snapchat, Threads, as well as TikTok. Fourthly, ladies and gentlemen, please help me reach and achieve the goal of 160 subscribers. Plus, the reason why I am saying 160 subscribers plus is because right after we reach and achieve the goal of 160 subscribers, we have more subscribers to reach and achieve right after we reach and achieve the goal of 160 subscribers. Fifthly, ladies and gentlemen, know that justice will prevail despite Donald Trump and his illegal, unconstitutional regimes, unconstitutional, illegal executive orders and actions, and illegal, unconstitutional, unhinged, unlawful behaviors.